Watership Down meets The Hobbit, meets Redwall, a book about rabbits and a quest, and I absolutely loved this book. I'm Jack, this is Red Book Joy, and I want to talk to you about The Legend of Podkin One Ear, which is the first in a 5 Realms series by Kieran Larwood. This book is one of my favourite reads so far this year, and I recommend books for children, for adults, but normally when I do middle grade fiction, I always think quite often I'm recommending a book and I read it as a teacher would read it, thinking about recommending it for parents and teachers, etc, etc. This book though, I loved it so much, I'm just recommending it as a good book because it just brought me immense joy. Now, to be fair, I am someone who is a huge fan of quest stories, of animal protagonists, of anthropomorphic stories like Watership Down and Redwall by Brian Jakes. If you haven't heard of Redwall, I will leave a link to my very short review of it in the description box below. But I love those kinds of stories which involve societies of animals, etc. And I love a quest. So this book and this series has been on my radar for some time, and it's the first time I've read it, and I can't believe I waited so long. The book was published in 2017. It is the first in, I think there are 6 books in the series now, maybe more. And Kieran Larwood has created this wonderful world of the 5 realms. And in this first book, we meet Podkin, who is the sort of eponymous hero. The Legend of Podkin One Ear is the name of the book. But we start off with a story in a story. So The Legend of Podkin One Ear is a story, a tale being told by an elderly barred rabbit. And in this world, rabbits walk upright, they wear clothes, they live still in burrows, but these burrows are done sort of kind of, medieval style. They've got a long burrow, like an old Viking hall and that kind of thing. So on Bramblemas Eve in midwinter, the bard turns up at I think it's the Thornwood burrow, and he is invited in, and traditionally the bards will tell these tales, and he's asked to tell the tale of the legend of Podkin One Ear. And so he starts to tell this tale, and then we get the story of Podkin from when he's a young rabbit living in his burrow, and he is the son of the chieftain, and he's expected to inherit, become the next chief of the warren. And then his warren, Podkin at this stage, is nowhere near a legend. He is nowhere near the legend and warrior that he's going to become. So I love the fact that at the start of this story, we're given these tantalising hints to this legendary warrior. And then we go right back to when he's a tiny child rabbit, and he is very selfish and very spoiled. And on another Bramblemas Eve, back in this warren, as this story unfolds, the warren is invaded by some of the most sinister villains in children's fiction I've read about in some time, and I love them. They're called the Gorm, and the Gorm are also rabbits, but they're rabbits who come from a warren where they were digging for, I can't remember what they were digging for, but they dug too deeply and they uncovered something, and this something was metal, and then basically it changed the rabbits, and they are kind of like, if you think about, I don't know, the Borg in Star Trek or something like that. They've kind of been assimilated by this thing, and then they're just basically they're not the same. They're wreaking war on every other burrow. They're taking things over. When they come into a warren, they either kill the rabbits or they assimilate them. So it was quite terrifying. And Podkin and his sister and his younger sibling, they escape out of the burrow, and then that's when the quest starts. So yeah, I'm not going to tell you any more about it. The start of the story is just so thrilling, and it's got that feel to it. When you read a book and you have a feeling when you read it that it's like, this is, the minute you open it, it's a good book. And from start to finish, I just knew I was going to fall in love with the characters, with the world, and I really can't wait to read more from Kieran Larwood. And I'm really sad that I've left it till now to read, but I'm glad I've discovered him. But one of my students, about 6 years ago, maybe more, brought that book into school and told me how wonderful it was. I remember looking at the cover thinking, wow, it does look wonderful, and it truly, truly is. So normally I would say I'm recommending this book for a certain age group, but I recommend it for anyone aged 9 and above, because I think the Gorm are quite scary. But anyone aged 9 and above will love this book. If you want a really lovely middle grade, if you want something that is adventurous and well written and with wonderful characters and full of lovely events and a great world building, then try The Legend of Podkin One Ear by Kieran Larwood. If you want to buy it and you want 5% off, I have a referral code for Books Please, who are an online book retailer. They have given me a referral code, which is Spread Book Joy, that you use at checkout to get 5% off. And if you do that, then it kind of gives me a little bit of percentage as well, at no extra cost to you, and it kind of helps me run the channel. So yeah, if you like this review and you've never been here before, maybe check out some of my other middle grade reviews, and hopefully maybe subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.